I got a lot of love for Mike being an Ohio State alumni, of course.
Oh,
but,
what a shock.
It's always a wonderful thing when you can bring a life into the world, and we teased a little bit on the picture that he had the other day about all the work he had to do.
Begin the ball game. Drop it off, and Gobert able to hammer. Royce O'Neal had a career-best 8 assists in Game 2. He's 1-1. The first one was an overtime win, and that was Denver and Jamal Murray, who opens with the jumper. Game 2, though, NBA fixture, and yeah, don't overreact. Get your team into a panic mode when the series is 1-1. Murray springs free and drops in the 3. Millsap on a switch, which means he's going right through the defense. Royce O'Neal doesn't want it. Mike Conley does. His 3 is perfect. This is the best three-point shooting team in the NBA. Inhales that rebound. Ingles to Mitchell. Good eye contact and the hammer by Donovan Mitchell. Order averaging 20.5, but Utah's targeting him defensively as a young player. Ingles, another lob, this time to Gobert.
Extremely well right now for the Jazz in the playoffs.
Jokic on Gobert. No double coming. Spins away to the baseline. And the Joker rings the register. Point Utah lead. And Gobert, he has been the roller repeatedly. Got his own miss. Rudy Gobert. And look at the stifle tower with a lefty hook. Good cycle to Jeremy Grant. His 3 rimming out. Gobert couldn't grab the rebound, but here comes Mitchell in motion. Donovan Mitchell all the way to the iron to put it up and in. Really good defense by Monte Morris. Forces the air ball, and Jokic with the rake and take. And right down the lane after the delivery from the Joker, Torrey Craig. You don't have Clarkson going off just yet. He's trying to get himself going, and there is his first basket right on cue. Good ball movement to Niang, missing the corner 3. And all these 50-50 balls going Utah's way.
Well, Bob.
So Utah has done it defensively. Drop it into Gobert again. He flips it up and in. Gobert has been the offense. Jamal Murray. Downhill
Beautiful.
on Gobert, right to the rim.
Oh, my God.
Oh, a right-hand spike.
Force Jordan Clarkson to shoot over the top of you. Once you go for that pump fake, it's just money in the bank.
They need Michael Porter Jr. to do that. Utah, their A game in Game 2, they are playing wonderfully again today. Conley for 3. Adding Mike Conley already. And Ingles will push into the front court. Mike Conley again, wide open 3. And that's going to necessitate the timeout right away.
And you said it last game, and coaches were talking about how do we close out quarters? How do we close out the half to get momentum? And you're not going to close it out giving up a straight line drive.
And dunks most of the time. And here's Murray on the floor balance, missing the layup. Porter Jr. to pick it up.
And good call, because that time.
It's in Phil Jackson's book. The layup to Gobert again. Rudy Gobert. Clarkson attacking. Jokic met him. You see Denver scrambling on D, but the man closest to the basket is the one who's open. Down 22. Interim goals for Denver. Try to get to single digits before halftime. Get to something manageable. And Jokic, his second bucket. Gobert's going to have a double-double by halftime. Clarkson dropping it off again. Oh, Rudy Gobert's got 20 and 9. Jamal Murray kicking out to Michael Porter Jr. That pretty three-point stroke, best among all rookies at 44%.
Playoffs, it's all about matchups. And right now the Utah Jazz feel they match up, as we see, extremely well.
Jokic for 3.
With the consecutive baskets. But they feel they match Gobert inside.
Donovan Mitchell likes that Porter Jr. matchup. His three-point stroke has been incredible. Jokic 3. Batted out straight to Jeremy Grant. Millsap. And he took Mitchell right to the on the curl. They find Gobert with a shot clock at 5. In on Jokic and spiked away by Grant. What a block.
Great defense that time by Murray.
Oh, what a block. And Murray taking it right back. And then Mitchell answers with a block of his own. And that kind of mental barrier being under 20 is so important. Murray off the Jokic feed and 17. You know when 17 looks good? Down to 5. Conley's got Jokic on the switch. The step back 3. Good! That is a little run stopper for Utah. He owned the early part of this game. Denver finished on an 11-3 run. Jokic, a very deep three. And Denver could rebuild this a little bit.
You hedge in now that corner. You're in this line of sight. He'll get it to you.
Ingles stopped. Mike Conley.
Speaking
what
of which,
a game.
Speaking of which,
Mike Conley.
He's intelligent enough to know to get himself on balance and then make the play.
Donovan Mitchell has had phenomenal third quarters. He hits the three.
And it took some time, too, for this team to kind of make the adjustments. Beautiful middle pick and roll again to Jokic. When you're trying to figure out how we fit in, because he attracts so much from the defense. Now you on offense have to make the adjustment. And speaking of which, how about Mike Conley coming back in the bubble?
To think of what the Jazz would be capable of. Jeremy Grant backing it up. That's a confident stroke as he hits the three. He stayed out of foul trouble, so Gobert has been a menace to the Denver defense. Torrey Craig rattling one home for the corner. Clarkson trying to get downhill on Monte Morris. And there's Gobert again. Why are they double teaming Clarkson?
That's where Gobert was able to be open right in the middle.
Murray, little floater down the lane. Clarkson, speed and quickness. And there's Gobert again. I mean, just an absolute dunk fest. Clarkson on Porter and putting it up and in. And at this point, you wonder if Denver's just getting a little demoralized.
On and off the court.
Oh, Jokic threw it right to Mitchell, the former slam dunk champion. Right hand tomahawk. Conley playing beat the clock. And that typifies the afternoon for the Utah Jazz. And it's more frantic. And instead, it's like Jazz were brilliant in game two, and they just built on it here. And George Niang opens the fourth.
You see something in him that says, you know what, we may need that spark in the next game early on to create some kind of momentum defensively for us.
Mike Conley's just got to stop it.
And Denver had some good shots, but the turnovers early led to fast break opportunities. See a nice little.
George Niang can shoot.
The benefits are rim protector, finisher, offensive rebounder. That's the value.
As Mason Plumlee hammers it home, size and shooting. The problem is the shocking nature that Utah has buzzsawed the Nuggets the last two games. Moutier missing. A nice follow by Mie Oni.
Lends itself to allowing those teams to feel a lot more confident, especially the younger players, of not playing in pressurized situations on the road.
Second round pick. That's the. Everyone wants to go crazy on the lottery, and believe me, you get great players, but Mie Oni was drafted 58th. You just answered a really key question there, because with Ingles and Royce O'Neal as wings, that three-pointer dropped in by Rajon Tucker.
For this Denver team to feel good about themselves, and now it's tied back up. And now momentum feels like, okay, Denver feels like we've taken their best shot, but we've recovered.
As these series go on with no travel and nowhere to go because you're with your teammates, Bol. He was the tallest Nugget ever to hit a three in the regular season. Let's add that note for the postseason.
Funny, when his father was in Golden State and Nelly was the coach.
Yep. He'd let him shoot a
three. He let him shoot the three. Just the block shots is just his presence influences and dictates a lot on the defensive end that other guys can't do. You know, just him being in the lane.
In the league.
You know, was it a stat, something that said that Marcus Smart wasn't in the top, wasn't included in that?
Bol putting that down. Well, to me, one of the greatest seasons ever is when Michael Jordan averaged 38 and was named Defensive Player of the Year in the same year.
And extremely difficult to do both, but as a professional, as what you look at it, Marcus Smart is one of those guys.
Utah Jazz, they lose game one, bounce back impressively in games 2 and 3. The return of Mike Conley, 27 to lead all scores.
To the process, it's staying disciplined. Just because something didn't work one time doesn't mean you stop going back to the well. You have to really let it burn you a few times before we really hop off that train, and we'll keep riding that Serge Ibaka train. So I love it, man. This is good stuff. So let's hop over to another pretty exciting series. I don't know why this is always the 4 o'clock.